Hello children. In class 8 science NCERT textbook, the first chapter is crop production and management. The very first question may come into your mind is, why should we learn about crop production and management? Why should we learn about it? Think about our country. We have so many people living in our country, and our country should be independent. We should be able to grow crops and provide it to provide the food to all the people living in our country, right? Then comes, if we have enough of food for ourselves, then only we can export more food into international market. We can sell it and then we can export to other countries as well, right? So we need to become independent in terms of growing food for ourselves, providing for ourselves, right? So that is the reason we need to learn crop production and management. Now, what is crop? So when plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called crop. Okay, plants of same kind cultivated at one place on a large scale. Now there are two types in crops. One is kharif crop, second is rabi crop. Now see, what are kharif crop? Kharif season is actually rainy season in India, which is from June to September. And what are the crops that we can grow during kharif season? That is paddy. Paddy means rice, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton. Okay, and the months are June to September. Second is rabi crop. Rabi crops we grow in winter season. Winter season from October to March. And wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed, these are the rabi crops. Now let's see basic practices for crop production. The one example of paddy here is given to you. We have to just know how paddy is grown during rainy season. Okay, and why is it grown in rainy season? The very first thing is that paddy crop requires lot of water. It requires so much of water that we need to grow it in the rainy season. How paddy is grown? So first the seeds are sown, and then in the nursery, and then there are small saplings of this plant uh, are planted into the field. Actually, while it is raining heavily, that time the rice plants are planted in the field, and then the field has to be soaked in water. There has to be a lot of water in the field when the rice saplings are planted, and then paddy crop grows. Now there are certain stages of agricultural practices. See, I have got a mind map from Butterfly HFS, which is a very good one, so I am showing it to you here. There are different stages of crop production. So if you'll have a look here, the very first stage is preparation of soil, and then comes selection of seed. Actually, then seeds have to be selected. Proper selection of seeds is required. Then sowing, then adding manure and fertilizers. Then comes irrigation, and after that protection from weeds. Then after that harvesting once the crop is grown, and then storage. So these are the different stages of agricultural practices. We'll look at them one by one. Now see, first of all, before sowing the seeds, we need the farmers, they need to prepare the soil. Now how to prepare the soil? So soil has to be loosened and make it they need to make it soft. Why? So that in soft soil the seeds can get inside, and they can get enough of air and water, and the seeds can respire properly. So the process of loosening and turning soil is called tilling or plowing. Plowing is done with using a plow. See, here is a plow they have shown you. It has a long rod kind of thing that is known as plow shaft, and this is a plowshare. In many years back, we used to do plowing this way. The bullocks were joined with this plow, and they used to move around in the field, and we used to do tilling of the field. But nowadays tractors are used by farmers. Then plows are made of wood and iron. This was a traditional tool. The plowed field may have big clumps of soil called crumbs, and it is necessary to break these crumbs. Leveling of the field is beneficial for sowing as well as irrigation. So leveling was also done. There was one more instrument which is known as hoe. So this is a simple tool, and that is also used for loosening the soil and also for removing weeds. You might be thinking, what is weed? Weed is an unwanted plant. In the field there are so many unwanted plants are growing, and the farmers have to remove them, because if they don't remove it, then they will actually take all the nutrition which is for the food plant. See, this is a hoe given to you. It is a tool for loosening the soil as well as for weeding. There is a cultivator here. See, nowadays plowing is done by tractor driven cultivator as well. So there is this tractor, and this is a cultivator behind the tractor, you can see. Next comes sowing, but before sowing, there is the farmers, they have to select the seeds. See, for growing the crop, the seeds have to be really healthy. You must have seen your mother soaking the seeds or pulses in a vessel, right? When we do that, have you ever seen that most of the seeds, they settle down in the at the base of the utensil, but there are some seeds that float on the water. Those seeds are the damaged seeds. So damaged seeds become hollow and they are lighter, and that is the reason they float on water. Now let's see another traditional tool for sowing the seeds. Next is sowing the seeds. See, in olden days or many years ago, farmers, they used to take their seeds in the grains in the bucket, and then they used to throw it using their hand. They used to sow the seeds manually. But nowadays, this is also another instrument, another tool, where it is known as funnel. See, you can see it in the picture. It's a funnel where the farmers used to drop the seeds, and they used to fall on the ground. Now see, when they plow the soil, they plow it, they make certain kind of lines or rows in the field, and these farmers, they sow the seeds after certain distance. Why it is sown like that? Not because it looks nice, but because they'll get proper amount of sunlight, proper amount of water, and proper amount of air. Then nowadays seed drill is used. See, this is a seed drill. Here it is shown to you in the picture, and using the seed drill, the seeds are sown in the fields. Then see, this seed drill, it sows the seeds uniformly at equal distance and depth, and it ensures the seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. This protects the seeds from being eaten by the birds. Okay. Now we have to make sure that the bird should not eat the seeds that are sown in the field. So this is what is done. Next step is adding manure and fertilizer. Now see, all the crop require nutrients, and if the farmers keep on planting the crops in the same field again and again every year, then all the nutrients from the soil gets over. They get finished, and that is the reason that farmers need to add manure or fertilizers. Now there is a difference between manure and fertilizer. What is fertilizer? See, fertilizer is a man-made thing, man-made inorganic salt, while manure is a natural substance. It comes from cow dung and plant residues. And then fertilizer is prepared in factories, but manure can be prepared in the fields. Means you, if you have ever visited villages, you must have seen that the people, they gather the cow dung and all the droppings of all the other animals at one place, which is actually used as manure for the crop plants, because for crops manure is very important. It gives them nutrition. Now fertilizers does not provide any humus to soil, but manure provide humus to soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And manure is selectively less rich to plant nutrients. But again, because fertilizers are made up of chemicals, we need to be extra careful with the fertilizers. Nowadays, many people, they go and buy organic vegetables because they do not want to buy vegetables or crops that is grown using fertilizers, but people are preferring crops or the vegetables that or fruits that are grown using manure. Now let's see about some chemical fertilizers which are produced in the factories. Examples are urea, ammonium sulfate, you can see here, it is given in your book, superphosphate, potash, NPK, all this. And let's talk about crop rotation. What is crop rotation? So it is a method of replenishing the soil with the nutrients, and this can be done by growing different crops alternatively. Now what is growing different crops alternatively? Growing different crops alternatively means for 6 months or 3 months the farmer is planting one crop. After the harvesting of that crop, the farmer plants another crop in that soil, which is actually brings back the nutrients that has been gone, or it does not require the nutrients that is required by the first crop. Okay, so the farmer, within a year, the farmer plants different 2-3 different kind of crops in the same field. Many times farmers also do that, they keep farmers keep 3 or 4 pieces of land and they plant in first field, all the 4 fields they plant different crops. So that is also, it's a kind of crop rotation. Okay, and nowadays farmers are adopting this technique a lot. Now let's see advantages of manure. It enhances the water building capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases becomes easy, and it increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. Okay, if the friendly microbes, they actually help in turning and loosening the soil, and that is why they are known as friendly microbe. Now let's see the irrigation technique. What is irrigation? Irrigation is giving water to the plants at regular intervals. Okay, when we grow the crops, it requires water, and there are certain traditional methods given into your book. The sources of irrigation are tube wells, ponds, wells, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. These are the traditional methods. See, using moat. So moat is a pulley here, pulley kind of system. Pulley is there and the bucket is thrown in the well, and then it is pulled, and then water is given. The next one is chain pump. So there is a pump using chain. This is another method called thekli. You can see a rod kind of structure, and there is another wood on which this rod is put, and there is a stone tied over here. So this wood, you can, if you remember the slingshot kind of thing, okay, where you have to catapult and you play that game. This is that kind of thing created over here, and the bucket is tied here again. So when you put down the bucket in the well and the bucket is filled, it comes out, right? And then the water is given to the fills. The last one is Rahat system or lever system, where there are so many buckets tied to a wheel and the wheel keeps on turning round and round and the water comes out. And this bullock, it keeps on moving around. As the bullock keeps moving around, the wheel keeps on going round. So these are the traditional methods. So sorry, here I did not show you the picture. So this is Dakley system. This you saw. This is the chain pump system. I'll show you one more time. This is the wheel where the buckets are tied. This bullock, it goes round and round, and as the bullock goes round and round, the wheel goes, it turns round, and all the water is filled from here, and then again it is given outside. Now see, pumps are, these all things are run by pumps. Okay, pumps are used for lifting water, and diesel, biogas, electricity, solar energy, all this sort of things are used for these methods. Now let's see the modern methods of irrigation. There are two modern methods of irrigation. One is the sprinkler system, another is the drip irrigation. Now see here, sprinkler system, there is a fountain kind of thing, and this keeps on moving round in the field, and it gives a water in a way like how we have a shower in our bathroom, right? So that way the water falls down in the ground. This device, sprinkler, it has the perpendicular pipes having rotating nozzles on the top, and they are joined with the main pipeline, and it goes round and round, and then it like a shower, the water falls down on the field. Drip irrigation, it's again, these are the long pipelines, and at near every plant there is a hole from which the water goes to the plant drop by drop. So that is why it is known as drip irrigation system, and drip irrigation saves lots of water, okay, and it is a boon in the regions where availability of water is poor. Let's see, next is protection from weeds. Okay, now weeds are unwanted plant which are not desired. The reason why they are unwanted, because they compete with the main crop plant, and they take all the nutrition, that is nutrition and water and sunlight and everything that is for the crop plants. So that is why removal of weeds is very necessary, and removal of weed is called weeding. And farmers do that. Many times they pull out the crops which are not required with their hands manually. Sometimes they use the tools, okay, and sometimes they even use certain chemicals like 2,4-D. It is given over here. See, they use 2,4-D. This is a chemical which actually kill the weeds. So this kind of certain chemicals are used. Sometimes they even use khurpi and they take out the weeds. Sometimes even a seed drill used for uprooting the weeds. Now see, there is a farmer given to you here who is actually sprinkling the chemicals or weedicide on the plants. So there's a question, does it harm to the person who is actually who is spraying the chemical? And the answer is yes, it is harmful. It can damage your body, it can harm your body, it can harm your health, and that is the reason you need to wear a mask while you are spraying it. Another thing, your hands also should be covered. You should be wearing gloves on your hands as well, okay, because this putting chemicals, spraying chemicals on plants is dangerous for the person who is spraying as well. Next comes, after we do all these things, after 3-4 months the crop plant is ready, crop crops are ready, and that is why we need to harvest those crops. Okay, now there are again two methods. In old days they were using sickle to cut it manually, right? But nowadays a machine called harvester is used. And there is one more machine which is known as combine is used. It is a combination of harvester and thresher. Now you must be knowing, you have studied the methods of separation techniques in standard 6, and you know what is winnowing and what is threshing and what is harvesting, right? So once the harvesting is done, then the grains have to be separated from the chaff, and normally nowadays a machine for that, for threshing is used to separate the grains from the chaff. And this is the machine. Here is the machine. It is shown to you here. Okay, it is a combine. And the farmers with small holdings of land, see, they do this winnowing is also done, right? Where the grains are they let the grains fall from a height, and so that the grains are separated and the chaff is also separated. See, there is a box given to you where some information about harvest festival is given. Now there are some very very important harvest festival in India, and they are Pongal, Baisakhi, Holi, Diwali, Nabanya and Bihu. And people they have been celebrating all this harvest festival in our country, and you know about them very well. You must have heard about all of those. Now let's think about storage. Now see, storage is very important task, because we have to, once we have grown the crop, then we have to make the seeds and the grains, we have to store them properly. We have to keep them safe so that it will not get any algae or fungus, or it should not be eaten by insects, it should not be eaten by rats. Okay, so first of all, the farmers, they remove all the moisture from the grain. Why they remove all the moisture? Because if we let the moisture in it, then if you store them without drying, then what will happen? Then all the bacteria will come, the pest will come, fungus will come, and it will eat away all the grains. Grains have to be without water. Now let's see, where do farmers store the grains? So they store the grain in jute bags or metallic bins, and large scale storage grains is done in silos or granaries. These are the silos. See here, they have shown you, these are the silos, and granaries are huge rooms. You must have see, when you study Harappan civilization, you must have heard about granaries, right? They also used to have grains. They used to have many grains, granaries to store their grains. And here our farmers also use silos or granaries, big rooms, big godowns, okay, to protect them from pests and rats. Dried neem leaves are used at home for storing food grains, and big godowns are also used. Okay, now the last topic that comes, and that is animal husbandry. Now you might be thinking, what is animal husbandry? So see, like plants, animals animal also provide us with different kind of foods. You know, many people, they eat meat and chicken, and there are so many other animal products that come from animals. We drink milk and then eggs and many other things. So for that we need to rear the animals, and for that we have this business also there in our country, where animals are reared in homes and farms, and they are given proper food and shelter and care, and this is known as animal husbandry. Okay, this is everything is done because we require them, we need them for our food. And then, so that's all with this chapter. Fish is good for our health, so we get cod liver oil from the fish, and actually fish is also reared. So I think that's all for this chapter. I hope you understood it. There are some exercises which exercise question. These are very simple. I think that you all can do it on your own. So that way you can also read the chapter and you will be able to write the answers. Okay. See you in the next video, children. Bye.